Hi John, thanks for having me in today. My name is Erin Allen. I am an account executive here at Ariba. I have been with Ariba for about 4 years now and have worked specifically on the retail side for the last 2 years. So I've worked with Target, Walmart, Sports Authority, just helping them lower their costs, mitigate their risk, and extend their efficiencies across their entire supply chain. So I'm happy to be here with you guys today. Are we still good for about 15 minutes? Perfect. So what I want to do is first just give you a high-level overview of who Ariba is, kind of where we started, where we are today, and then talk about the specialties that Ariba can offer the Sports Store Inc. If at the end of it, if I've kind of perked your interest a little bit, I'd love to come back, bring my solution consultant, meet with your team, and take a deeper dive to see best where Ariba could partner with Sports Store. Does that sound fair? Great. Well, Ariba actually started back in 1996. We were kind of the pioneers of e-procurement. So we had the procurement technology that we offered to our customers to help them buy better, buy smarter, buy more efficient. Over the years, we realized that the key here is the relationship between the buyers and suppliers and how they interact together. And this was really important to us to make this more easy and more efficient as a whole. And so if you think about it in your personal life, how easy it is to do commerce. So I myself am a huge Amazon person. I don't know if you guys like to do some online shopping as well, but for instance, last week I was looking for a new Canon camera. So I logged into Amazon, searched the model that I was looking for. It brought up all the suppliers. I could easily pick which one I wanted, compare the ratings between the different suppliers. I put it in my cart, paid for it. I got my receipt, I got my confirmation, I got the advanced shipping notice, and then it was delivered. Piece of cake. So I got all those different notifications online, which made it very nice and easy. But then I was also able to do this, which is a couple clicks of the button. So the ease of use it is kind of in the consumer world. Ariba's trying to bring that same ease of use to the B2B world. That's where we bring in the Ariba Network. So the Ariba Network it is in the cloud, as we like to say, but it's also a SaaS solution. So being that it's in the cloud SaaS solution, it's also system agnostic. And what I mean by that is, I know you guys work with a couple different ERP systems right now. So you have your SAP, you've got Maximo, you have your homegrown. Ariba's network can tie into any of those solutions. Now the Ariba network, being that Ariba is a global company as well, is completely global. It has suppliers from around the world, and I know from meeting with you, John, that one of your goals is to become a top 10 sporting goods retailing company by 2020. What better way to expand your presence than partnering with companies that already take place in those individual companies you guys are trying to expand to? So the Ariba network actually has 1.8 million suppliers already on the network. Now with this network, as I mentioned, there's thousands of suppliers. So for you guys, you would log into the network. You could have your own suppliers on here, also find new sources of supply. But it's a one-to-many connection. So it's a one login for you guys and you have access to all your suppliers. A little different than you're doing right now with your EDI where it's a one-to-one. So you have a one-to connection for each of your different suppliers. I'll tell you with our Ariba network right now, and what I'd like to do with you guys as well as a supplier match, there's about 30 to 60% of your current suppliers are actually already transacting on the network. So for you guys, you're going to have a quicker ROI getting started because most of them are probably already on there. So buyers and suppliers connect via the Ariba network. The commerce that takes place between these is actually 750 million. Billion. Sorry. So $750 billion is going back and forth between buyers and suppliers. If you can think about the amount of eBay, Amazon, Alibaba, you combine all three of those, it still doesn't touch the amount of commerce going on between the network, which is huge. Now the reason this network continually adds suppliers each and every day is because of the value it brings to both buyers and suppliers. On the buy side, you're going to have lowered costs. You're going to gain visibility. You are going to gain compliance. And you're going to have added opportunities for discounts, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. So obviously, because suppliers are joining, there has to be some value for suppliers. Suppliers are also going to get lowered costs. They're going to get paid faster. They are going to have increased opportunities for unique sales experiences, which is in turn going to increase their revenue. So the reason that they're going to have more sales opportunities is because through this network, and like I mentioned, as a buyer you can go on, search for a Canon camera or a desk, you're going to see all the suppliers that offer that, just like you would on Amazon. So because these buyers are going to find new suppliers that maybe they didn't know existed, those suppliers are gaining more business, they're going to get more revenue from just being on the network because they have more visibility and people will see them as well. So those are the huge kind of value points to the network. As I mentioned, it's a two-sided model. Both parties are seeing equal value. With the value here, and I mentioned the suppliers joining every single day, this network has grown year over year 25 to 30%. It's a huge number. And being that I'm from Ariba, obviously I think that the Ariba network is awesome, but we weren't the only ones that think it's so awesome. Back in 2012, SAP acquired Ariba. And the reason they acquired Ariba, the number one reason and the only reason, was because of this network and the capabilities it can bring to customers. Now, I did mention that obviously SAP now owns Ariba, but I do want you to keep in the back of your mind that we still are agnostic. So no matter if you're SAP, you're IBM, Oracle, we can still work with you guys. So the Ariba network obviously connects buyers and suppliers. So just like on Amazon, you make your purchase, you send that over to your supplier. The supplier then can send you the invoice. All those ancillary documents, there's like 7 to 10 of those, all of those are going to be automated through the network. So it's going to automate your entire process. It's going to create more of a touchless environment. And what I mean by touchless is that our network is intelligent. It's not just a portal where you can log in, where suppliers can log in and pass back information. It has intelligence behind it. So we can set up rules so that way when the PO is sent to your supplier and the supplier goes to send that invoice back, if they try to do anything funky on that invoice, if those rules don't match up 100%, it's going to be kicked back to the supplier. And they correct it on their end before it goes back into your AP department. So when those invoices come back over, they're 100% ready to pay. Now, we were able to conduct all this business in the network with where Ariba really specializes. And that's the source to settle process. So the capabilities within this network start with more on the spend management side, where we can help you analyze your spend, seeing where you're spending your money with what suppliers and how much of it. We can then help you source your spend. So if you're looking for new suppliers, you want to get some reverse auctions, create RFIs. Once you've been able to do that, we can then help you write contracts and get that authorizing, going through on the contract management side. From there, we can help you buy better, buy smarter with our catalogs, get those negotiated prices from your different suppliers, get those into catalogs so your team members can go in, buy off the catalogs, which will reduce a lot of the maverick spend I know you guys are experiencing right now. And then once you're able to buy that, we move in more of the document automation side, where we can really get those POs and invoices automated through the network and creating that touchless environment. And then once we move on to those invoices, getting your cycle time down and ready to pay, we can talk about early payment discounts, where you guys can capitalize on paying early and receiving discounts from your suppliers. And the last part here is the pay side, where you can actually pay your suppliers via the Ariba network. It's not ACH, you're not having to write paper checks. It's all done with a single interface in the network. And I look forward to kind of digging deeper in your team within these certain areas to see what parts of Ariba would really benefit the sports store. So as I mentioned, kind of where Ariba started, where we are today with the Ariba network and the value sides to both the buyers and the suppliers. The key area here between the source to settle process and how Ariba can maybe help the sports store. and obviously the two-sided model and the value points to both the buyers and the suppliers. Have I left anything out? Do you have any questions for me? Great, well I look forward to meeting your team then, thank you.